and do your basics right and play like we play against Wolves, and I don't see anybody stopping us.
If Torquay win at Wembley, it'll probably be because this young man has a fine game. Mark Loram, seen here floating the perfect goal over the Bristol Rovers keeper, is undoubtedly the goal's main playmaker.
I was playing at just local football a matter of years ago, and to be playing at Wembley is just a dream come true, really.
In fact, it wasn't so long ago, Mark, that you were thinking of taking up rugby, as I understand it.
Oh, it's just wicked rumours, really.
Wicked rumours, too, that Vasey would be fit, so Kenny Allen will be in goal for the most important game in the club's history.
We're talking about 20,000 people, not only from here, from Exeter as well, and from Bristol, from Plymouth, and I think it's absolutely fantastic, really. And I would never have dreamt it, that had been such a response. But I'm sure, that everybody will enjoy it. And I just think on the day, as long as we go out there and we give it all and everybody enjoys it, that's the important thing.
Once again, don't be deceived by such talk. Cyril Knowles is definitely a winner.
Nice one, son. Nice one, Cyril. Another one. Nice one, Cyril. Nice one, son. Nice one, Cyril.
Welcome back to Wembley, and fantasy has become fact for Torquay United as Cyril Knowles leads out the Torquay side. Bolton led out by Phil Neal, and what a proud day for these two managers. Cyril Knowles, who would have thought 2 years ago, when Torquay were just 30 seconds from going out of the league, who would have thought that so soon after they'd be here playing in a cup final. Phil Neal, the Bolton manager, of course, has seen it all before. Not as a manager, though, although he was back in '86. He led out the Bolton side then for the Sherpa Trophy final. They were beaten that day. This time, he won't be playing. And Cyril Knowles and his team there wave to the crowd. Some 20,000 have made the journey up from the West Country today. And what an occasion, and what a marvellous atmosphere, too. The teams will be presented to the guest of honour today, the singer Elton John. And Peter alongside me here, Pete Barraclough, you've been part of the build-up to the game all week. What do you reckon on the atmosphere today?
I was really surprised how confident the players were in that pre-match situation when we were talking to them earlier. I expected a few butterflies, but they all seem very cool, very collected, and you never know, that might be a good sign, Pete, because if it's all about psychology, then Torquay have won the battle already.
So the teams now break to their respective ends. Tremendous noise around the stadium. The crowd here basking in the sunshine and hoping that the match can live up to the occasion. I'm sure it will.
And time for me, Pete, to hand over to our co-commentator, who will be Theo Foley.
Yes, Theo Foley will be joining us now, assistant manager at Arsenal, and he's had plenty to celebrate, of course, with Arsenal winning the title in such style at Liverpool last week. So let's have a look then at the lineups for this Sherpa Van Trophy final. And this is the side then that Cyril Knowles hopes can bring the trophy back to Torquay. He's a master tactician, Cyril, as he showed in the semi-final at Molineux, where Wolves were outwitted. So just how he'll employ this formation remains to be seen. Three central defenders, Elliott, Lloyd and McNichol all included. Mark Loram, it's the perfect stage for his undoubted talent today. And a little surprisingly, perhaps, Carl Airey preferred up front to Jim Smith. And what a day then for goalkeeper Kenny Allen. 37, released by Torquay last season. He then broke a leg playing for Bath. He joined Newport, who went out of the league, and now here he is back at Torquay and playing in a cup final. Well, Bolton have had a tremendous run since March. If they win today, they'll create a new club record of 20 consecutive matches without defeat. David Felgate's goalkeeping has been a major feature this season, so's the defensive stability of Mark Winstanley. And up front, well, Steve Thompson and John Thomas have scored consistently. And alongside them, Trevor Morgan, who's played a lot of his football in the West Country with Exeter and the two Bristol clubs. And he's the man that Cyril Knowles fears as much as anyone. And you couldn't have a better man in charge today, George Courtney, FIFA referee. And just a couple of weeks ago, he took charge of the European Cup Winners' Cup final in Bern. Barcelona against Sampdoria, and a marvellous game he had too. So as the atmosphere rises, the moment has arrived at last. And George Courtney prepares to set this Shepherd Van Trophy final in motion. Torquay in their all-yellow strip. And Torquay will attack the goal to our right in the first half. The bulk of their fans behind the goal they're defending. Torquay in all yellow, Bolton in the lighter shirts, the white shirts. And here an early touch, which I'm sure Kenny Allen will appreciate, in the Torquay goal. So Theo Foley alongside me here. Well, on the heat and the conditions, what part do you think they're going to play today, Theo?
Well, obviously they'll play a very big part, because a lot of the players, quite rightly so, will want to conserve energy from the start and not be rushing around. It often leads actually to a much slower game, which is perhaps this is the best way to play at Wembley. If you play all out here, I'll tell you, you'll be well worn out in about a half an hour.
And certainly the early minutes are going to be anxious ones for both sides as they endeavour to settle on this perfect-looking Wembley pitch. And Cyril Knowles saying beforehand he hopes his players don't freeze. Doesn't mean freeze in terms of feeling cold, but well, they might freeze on the occasion. And they haven't had a good run in either. They've won only 2 of their last 8 league games. And Cyril was saying that he really felt the players were holding back a bit and had Wembley on their minds. Phil Brown knocking the ball in for Bolton. And safely through to Kenny Allen. This is McNichol. Kenny Allen, I'm sure, must have pinched himself this morning to remind himself that he is playing in a Wembley final. Airy challenging well. Thrown it through towards Edwards, but good covering by Barry Caldwell. This is Dean Crombie. The goalkeeper of Bolton is David Felgate, who missed out on the Sherpa Van final of 3 years ago because his loan period had expired. So relief for him, but he's in the side today. Winstanley. Off goes Edwards. Crombie came across, and here's Caldwell. Steve Thompson spreading the play well. Morgan. Off goes John Thomas. Brown. Well to get his cross in. Allen stretching and holds on well. And that'll do his confidence no harm in the early stages there.
Certainly do him an awful lot of good, that. The early opening for me is that I think Bolton look as if they're going to play most of the football, and Torquay's sweeper system, I think, obviously will be encouraging to hit 1 or 2 longer balls. This looks as if it's going to be a very, very good game.
Let's hope so. Elliott across with a sharp, incisive tackle. Torquay with the 3 centre-halves, as we're saying there, giving the 2 full-backs the chance to push forward. Robbie Savage. Kelly chasing. Torquay throw. Threatened for so long to have a say in the playoffs with Torquay, but fell away towards the end of the season. And it certainly would appear that they were distracted by the Sherpa Van success. And that marvellous win at Wolves in the semi-final, the Southern Area final. It lost at home to Wolves, but then beat them up at Molineux. And who on earth would have predicted that, with Wolves going so well? And Steve Ball, they were all playing. And Torquay won there by 2 goals to 0 to go through to this final. Off goes Thomas. with McNichol. And that's a corner. So most of the early enterprise has come from Bolton. And they've sent up Winstanley, their central defender. Edwards has come back to mark him. Made long towards Winstanley. Got his header in. Kenny Allen was perfectly placed. Now Loram. Many people feel that if Torquay have a match winner, it's Loram. There's a good pass from him. Now, can Edwards get his cross in? No, but he's forced the corner. And that'll give heart to Torquay. Lovely pass from Loram that sent Edwards away.
There is actually a slight contrast in styles, Peter, in that Torquay are hitting a lot more longer balls. Bolton attempt to build up slowly as the corner's taken.
It might just have opened them up on that occasion. Felgate fisting it away. Eventually cleared. Kelly underneath it for Torquay. But a break could be on here. Threaded through by Thompson. Now can Chandler finish? Well, it was a clear opening then. Chandler was away. Torquay suddenly caught on the break. A lovely pass played through by Thompson, and Chandler was clean through. There's the ball knocked through into his path by Thompson, and Chandler steers it wide, but a good chance there.
Yes, it was indeed. His first touch actually, Peter, let him down because he took it wide of the goal. He actually laid the ball, it was in the middle of the goal. He took the ball wide to his left, and the lad Allen did well. He didn't get much to shoot at, and of course he just shot wide. That was a great chance. Very good breakout.
But Torquay have survived and look to build themselves. Weston to Morrison. They're the two midfield runners. Morrison picking out Darrell Pugh. Now, can he take on Caldwell? He's gone all the way. And in fact, the ball over the line for a goal kick, signalled by the linesman down below us.
That's one of the disappointing things, I think, watching the first few minutes of this, Peter, is a number of players who get in good positions like that, and of course the final ball lets them down. It's a little bit sad because that was a very, very good bit of play, and with the fullbacks pushed in as Torquay have done, you'll see lots and lots of that, I'm sure, happening during the later course of the game.
20 minutes gone, no scorers yet. Thomas beaten. Here's Edwards. John Thomas. Foul then on Derby. Rather rash challenge. So a free kick to Bolton, who came through the northern area by beating Blackpool in the final. And that was a very tight struggle, and this one looks to be equally so today. Here's the free kick. Thomas just found a little bit of room. Lloyd had gone with him, and the corner. And Torquay protesting.
Yes, obviously the linesman, who seems in a much better position than the referee, George Courtney. George Courtney's given the decision, which is of course his privilege, being the referee, but it's always a little bit surprising to me that, Peter. One man's 10 yards away, one man's 30.
George sticking to his guns. He says it's a corner. Here's Savage. Allen was jostling for position then. He pushed Morgan out of the way. I think, in fairness to the goalkeeper, Morgan was obstructing him, really.
Oh, yes, but that was a very good take. I mean, he's obviously just come in, but he's certainly enjoying himself because he took that with great confidence. And as you pointed out, he was slightly harassed, to say the least, by Big Morgan. Did very, very well.
What a story it is for Kenny Allen. It's quite remarkable, really. He's a postman now, I think.
Really?
He's not played a league game for some time. And Cyril Knowles said, well, we'll release you at the end of last season, and here he is now, back with them and in a cup final.
He's obviously had a very good delivery today, Peter.
Morrison in well. Loram. Now Pugh. They've got to take these opportunities to make progress down the flanks. The keeper thought about coming for it, stayed back. And in the end, away by Crombie.
He's certainly impressed me, the boy Lauren, when he's passing and that. This boy's at Queen's Park Rangers. That he looks very simple and very positive on the ball. Early passes, early choices, and he's impressed me as much as anybody so far.
And it's Loram now taking the corner. Chance, and it's in! And Edwards has scored.
That was a very, very good goal, you know. Well worked. Very simple goal from a corner kick. The Bolton players obviously felt the goalkeeper should have come there, Peter. But that was a lovely flick, and he took the goal well. But as I said, as far as I'm concerned, when they've attacked Torquay, they're looking at the better side. The keeper's clearly at fault, I would think.
Well, Dean Edwards has scored the goal then that's given Torquay the lead. And the Torquay fans celebrating in style on the terraces now. Dean Edwards, the man who scored twice in the area final, has done it again here at Wembley. Now Chandler. Thomas in the middle. Darby's in there. Oh, Thomas couldn't quite reach it. And it came off Elliott for the corner. But Bolton looking to bite back instantly, having gone a goal down. Torquay will have to soak up this pressure now. Savage with the corner. Kenny Allen, half cape for it. Got a bit stranded, really. Probably couldn't make more use of it. They've got another corner.
He just tried to come a little bit early and got underneath the ball, really, Peter. That was all.
Got a bit carried away with it all then, I think, Kenny Allen. But he stood firm so far. And most of the noise at the moment is coming from the Torquay end. They're leading by a goal to nil. Derby, Turnwell! Oh, yes!
Goal.
I spoke too soon. 27 minutes gone, and young Julian Derby has equalised for Bolton. And that was an excellently taken goal. It caused problems with these corners. Torquay couldn't get it clear, and Derby gave himself a little bit of space onto his right foot and steered in delightfully.
He certainly won't be happy with that, Cyril Knowles. I mean, the way he turned was brilliant, the boy Derby, but he should never be allowed to do that. Never been allowed to turn there.
Third and fourth division's cup final, they call it. And it's turning into a very exciting game. Kelly with the throw. Airy challenged by Phil Brown. Edwards. Laura! Well, he was in the right place, and if only his header could have been more accurate.
He's certainly impressed me, Peter. He looks as if he's very assured once he gets into those forward positions as well, because he's suited some, I think, not having to do much work coming back. They decided to push him up and play almost three at the front.
Nobody wants to make a mistake now. With the half-time breather to come, and words of encouragement from the two managers, Cyril Knowles and Phil Neal, who've experienced this Wembley turf themselves down the years. Here's McNichol. Loram, good skill from him, but Crombie in very firmly. But some of Loram's touches have been quite delightful in the first half. And there goes the whistle from George Courtney to end the first 45 minutes. And certainly an encouraging first half for Torquay, who took the lead from Dean Edwards. Bolton then coming back from Julian Derby. But at half-time, it's Torquay 1, Bolton 1. So welcome back to Wembley for the start of the second half of the Sheffield Trophy final. Torquay 1, Bolton 1 at half-time, and the scene set for an absorbing second half. Bolton now kicking from left to right. It's Kelly going in first, and then Lloyd. Torquay with the fillip of scoring the first goal, but then Bolton coming straight back at them. And it's certainly been an intriguing final. hard, really, to predict which way it might go. Throw to Bolton, making progress gradually down this right flank. Here's Chandler, who had a couple of good chances in the first half. Thompson, with the two subs, Jimmy Smith and Sean Joyce. Over on the far side, just limbering up a little in case they're needed. And of course, with the possibility of extra time still to come, Cyril Knowles will have to play his cards wisely. Here's the throw for Torquay. Still very much in this final. Carleri trying to battle his way through. He really is a battering ram up front. And that's a corner. Winstanley couldn't keep it in play. They've sent up Lloyd and McNichol. 5 minutes into the second half. Loram will take the corner. Elliott in there too. Felgate came for it. In fact, it came off Trevor Morgan. Felgate didn't get there. So, it's Torquay's turn here to hopefully, from their point of view, inflict some damage. Now Loram. Bit of space for him, curls it in. Elliott couldn't get a finishing touch. Cowdrill able to clear. And now the break is on for Bolton. They've got players up here. Oh, what a disappointing through ball. Well, Thompson of all people, the pass that went astray.
Very poor selection, really, Peter. His choice was poor, really. The best ball was by Thomas.
Your early impressions at the start of the second half here?
I would think that Phil Neal's obviously wound Bolton up and said we've got to up the pace a lot more than what we've been doing. At this stage, I would say within the next 10 minutes, Bolton are going to inflict their third division class or pace on the game. And Torquay still look pretty good in the counter-attack.
And they're trying to launch one now. Loram in towards Edwards. Felgate just held on. There was danger then in the Bolton penalty area. Edwards so nearly applying the finish. And a real let-off then for Bolton. Certainly a lively start to the second half. Chandler. Here's Thompson. He's got Brown outside him again, taking the opportunity to come forward. Morgan in the penalty area. And there's a header just over the bar, two from Thomas. And again, it was the pace down the flank of Brown that got Bolton in the running then. And Thomas on the end of the cross. Morgan was in the middle too, beyond him, and then you'll see Thomas arriving, and the header only just over. Here's Lloyd. Edwards and Airy in the middle. There's Airy. Couldn't make an effective challenge though. Thompson getting Thomas away. They do combine well, these two. He's got Savage outside him. Darby arriving in the middle, and Kenny Allen right behind it. He certainly hasn't let them down today, Theo, has he?
He's enjoyed every minute of it. I know, obviously, a lot of people would say this is a good place for a goalkeeper to come and show, but he hasn't made a mistake. I think he's just failed to catch one early on when he might have punched it, but other than that, he's been outstanding.
There's Phil Neal, the dark glasses. In the centre of the picture as we look, who knows all about Wembley with those many appearances down the years here for Liverpool and England. Winstanley. Cowdrill galloping away down the left in a lot of space here. That familiar style of his. Thomas. Chandler. Driven in. Oh, no goal! It's an own goal. I think it was Morrison it came off. And just look at his anguish. Chandler's shot. And agonisingly for Torquay, they go behind. Cowdrill got away down the left. Morgan couldn't get in there. And here's Chandler, and this looked for the shot, and it goes off Morrison and beyond the stranded Kenny Allen. Well, what a setback for Torquay, and in such unfortunate circumstances too. But Bolton are back in the lead, and Cyril Knowles, well, he can't believe it over there on the bench. It's Torquay 1, Bolton 2.
I think there's a very good chance now that Torquay may well use a substitution. It was a cruel goal that, Peter. Didn't deserve to go anywhere near the goal, and it goes in the back of the net off the guy's left foot.
Torquay looked to come straight back, but Nicol. Airy couldn't turn. And have Torquay now the heart and the legs, indeed, to come back. Having gone a goal ahead, they now find themselves 2-1 down in the cruelest of manners. "19 minutes into the second half, and Torquay are behind. There are the two substitutes for Torquay, Jimmy Smith and Sean Joyce. And I wonder if Cyril Knowles might throw on either one of them now. Weston through, here's Edwards, the man who gave Torquay the lead. They've got it all to do now. Pugh. As Torquay look to take the game to Bolton. Pugh going on. Felgate just managed to stretch and palm it down. A great run by Pugh. And Felgate almost caught them. Pugh just kept going, and his determination took him through. And when the ball fell for him, his left foot shot almost planted beyond the goalkeeper. Here's Lloyd. Airy on for Edwards. Now for Loram, who's had a much quieter second half than the first. A tempting cross. Felgate didn't really make it. Airy down injured. Just for a moment there, I felt that Felgate was struggling. Got there in the end. Let's have a look again there. Loram floating the cross over. Goalkeeper decides to come for it. Don't think any question of a foul, though.
No, there wasn't a foul at all. All he was done, the keeper was left for two Torquay forwards challenging him, and again he elected to catch when possibly should have punched.
Jimmy Smith now has his tracksuit top off, and he's going to come on in place of Carl Airy, who's limping a little as he goes off. Sympathetic applause from the Torquay fans. Courageous display by Carl Airy, but a fresh pair of legs coming on now with Jimmy Smith. So they're swapping one striker for another. Jimmy Smith's game is more about guile and pace, really, than the strength shown by Carl Airy. So it's a change of tactic, really. Winstanley. Caldrill shearing off with Elliott, and he's gone away from him too. No foul. Still Caldrill. Allen saves well. Heroics then from the Torquay goalkeeper. Caldrill got away again down the left. George Courtney saw nothing wrong with the challenge. And in the end, they needed Kenny Allen to save them.
That's been one of the most interesting features of this half, Peter. Both of the Bolton full-backs have started to come more and more into the game. As I mentioned, the lad Brown, he also got in.
Here is a second substitution. Weston has gone off, and Sean Joyce comes on now. Young man who thought his season had finished earlier on when he was out with damaged knee ligaments, but he's fought his way back and now gets his chance at Wembley with just under 20 minutes to go. Way by Thompson. Edwards. Kelly. Three players lurking around the edge of the area. Jim Smith. Out of play. The Torquay fans now roaring their team on, hoping them to encourage them to find an equaliser. Kelly to Smith. Here's Loram. Surrounded by white shirts, still going on. But even the mercurial Loram couldn't get through there. Here's Kelly. Jim Smith. Good effort. Well, he's only been on the field a couple of minutes, young Jim Smith. A player they rate very highly at Torquay. Indeed, they've talked about him as being the new Lee Sharp. And if he lives up to that reputation, he won't do badly, will he?
He certainly won't.
Played in by Loram. And Smith had time for the shot and didn't strike it at all badly. Edwards. Throw to Torquay. Urged on by their crowd. Here's Loram. Now Edwards. It's a corner. And Edwards was nearly in then for a second goal. Felgate out to cover the angle. A corner to Torquay. Loram will take it. Elliott on the near post. Felgate fisting it clear. But here's Loram. Pugh in support. They've still got 4 or 5 shirts in there. Crombie got it out. McNichol. Good play by the Torquay captain. Now Loram. Thought about the shot going on. Oh. Mark Loram denied. What a good effort then.
He's definitely coming back into the game, Mark Loram.
Beginning to find himself again now, Loram, as the game wears on. And Cyril Knowles on his feet, urging his team on. Not away yet. Foot was high. No free kick given. Crombie. And here's the danger that they can get caught on the break. Crombie's gone steaming through the middle. If they can find him here, he's onside. It's Dean Crombie. It's 3-1 now to Bolton. And surely now this final is beyond Torquay. That was always the danger, being caught on the break, and it happened. Crombie, who played the ball out at the start of the move and kept going, the Bolton central defender, you'll see him calling in the middle there. And as the cross comes over, well, I reckon he might have been offside, but, well, the license flag stayed down and he tucked it away sweetly enough.
He did very well for a defender, Peter. You wouldn't have fancied a defender in that situation. It's a bit of a shame, that, for Torquay.
Dean Crombie, a rare goal for him. Just a hint of offside, but the flag stayed down. And he kept his cool. And over on the bench now, Bolton, perhaps thinking about a substitution themselves. It looks that way. That's Mick Brown there with the 15 on his back. I don't think he's coming on, but we'll see if somebody does in a moment. So it's very difficult now for Torquay. And Jeff Chandler is coming off to be replaced by Stuart Storer. So one wide player being replaced by another. As Bolton now look to hold on to what they have. And that is a 2-goal lead, 3-1 they lead. And it's looking now more and more as if the trophy is going to the north and to Bolton. Storer chasing, he's got there. It's another one, surely, yes, from Morgan. Torquay all over the place then. And it was the substitute, Storer, who set it up. And Bolton has scored a 4th goal. And it's Trevor Morgan, the man they feared, who was in the right place, stored it so well then to get his cross in. Morgan unmarked, and Kenny Allen was nowhere.
They've been left, actually, Peter, stranded at the back now, Torquay. They've, you know, the sweeper system now looks as if it's not effective at all, purely because there are not enough players getting back behind the ball and they're not in possession. It's a bit of a shame, that, really, because it's not a true reflection in the game.
Derby. It looks a hopeless task now, facing Torquay. But certainly, Torquay haven't looked 3 goals worse. Here's Storer, who's got terrific pace. Allen couldn't stop it. Thomas! Kenny Allen was going the wrong way then. He somehow managed to deflect the ball, and Thomas couldn't turn it in. Well, that really would have been a travesty of justice, so they considered another one then, I think, Peter.
Certainly would. The other thing which is interesting now, Peter, of course, is that Bolton are playing as a side that haven't lost, in fact, for such a long amount of time. Whereas now, of course, you can see 1 or 2 of the frightened looks that 1 or 2 of the Torquay players have got now, not having had a run at all.
Here's Morrison. Now for Lloyd, who's got to continue, although he's struggling with cramp. He's got a soldier on. Loram couldn't get away. Elliott. As Torquay look for another consolation goal. And certainly didn't look like a consolation goal when they went ahead early on in the game, but it's all turned sour for them in the second half. And here's Storer. Again accelerating away. Thomas in the middle. Oh, Allen! Marvellous save. Well, he's let nobody down today. Kenny Allen, a hero again. 4 have gone past him, but he denied them again then.
It's certainly amazing, Peter, that the second goal, really, which one he had no chance on, really, is the only one that's possibly, I would say, killed Torquay off, that goal. No, he's been super. That was a good save, that, you know, going the wrong way and catching the ball and returning it.
Time now is almost up. George Courtney has looked at his watch. We're now into time, added on for stoppages. And Bolton really just cruising now through the last few seconds. The game is safely won. Foul by Sean Joyce on Steve Thompson, who for me has been outstanding for Bolton. It certainly prompted their revival, and they needed one too, having gone a goal behind. And they're now just playing out the last few seconds. Dean Crombie tucked away a goal himself. And there it is, it's all over. And the Sherpa Van Trophy has been won by Bolton Wanderers. Disappointment for Torquay as Bolton celebrate. And I can see Kenny Allen being congratulated by 1 or 2 of the Bolton players. He was certainly a hero in goal for Torquay. And I think when you look back over the 90 minutes, you have to say that 4-1 is a bit hard on Torquay. And Elton John, I'm sure has enjoyed the occasion today. It's been such a friendly affair. And I refer there to the atmosphere as opposed to the game itself, which was keenly contested. So up go the Torquay players to be greeted by Elton John and the other guests here today. And there is Elton John and a consoling word for Jim McNichol. Carl Airey. Always a sad sight to see the faces of the losers. Such a contrast to those that we'll see in a few moments' time when Bolton arrive up those steps. And there's Kenny Allen. Well, he'll remember this day, maybe his last game in senior football. And it's a day he'll certainly relish. Even though Torquay have lost, the whole Southwest could be so proud of them. So now then, the moment that Bolton have dreamed about for a few years, winning a trophy again. They won in the FA Cup here back in the late 50s, beaten 3 years ago in the final of this competition, then the Freight Rover Trophy. And now today, they'll leave here as the victors. And we await that moment when the crowd erupt, the Bolton fans here, and there the beaming smile of Phil Brown. And there it is, that's the cup. It's Bolton's day. And that's what they think of it all among the thousands and thousands of Bolton fans who've made the trek down from the north.
Danny Allen, obviously a few friends up there, very disappointed, but you couldn't have done more, could you?
No, I don't think so. I mean, as you said before there, Pete, there wasn't 4-1 in it. I think the lads played really well. 2-1 scoreline would have been, you know, a little fairer. So, you know, it's the way football works out. It could have been 2-1 to us when Peter hit the bar. They broke away, they score, you know. But it's been absolutely fabulous. Something I'll never, ever forget in my life. I want it to go on. It's great.
Well played anyway, Kenny. Thanks so much indeed.
Thanks, Pete. I enjoyed every second.
Have been proud of the team today.
Yeah, well. I think at the end of the day, the chances we had, they didn't finish it. I thought the keeper played well, and they put their chances away. A bit of lucky second goal, but I think overall they deserved it.
And the supporters have been marvellous, haven't they?
Oh, unbelievable. I didn't think such a small place as Torquay could generate such noise. I just wish we could see a few more of them on the Saturday.
So there we are, as the supporters make their way home, the end of what's been a marvellous day. Not the right result, I'm afraid, but Torquay United really gave their all, and we really couldn't have expected more from them. We hope you've enjoyed this bank holiday special. Who knows, United might be back here next year. From us all, it's goodbye from Wembley.